What's up, everybody? This your girl T Green coming back at you with another video. And I do apologize for the long absence. The last video that I posted was of the mini vacay that we did for my husband for his birthday. And I actually put that one up like after we actually took the trip. But I have just been really focused on some other projects that I have going, and it's not that I have abandoned my channel, but I will tell you that I just have a lot going on right now, just mentally and physically, you know, just kind of moving around and doing some of the things that I'm doing. I am so excited about the direction that I'm going with everything that I have going on. And so I actually was talking to Sassy Melissa. We were chatting on Facebook, and I was telling her, I said, well, maybe I guess I need to just kind of get back into vlogging as I'm driving. And if this is shaky, I'm so sorry, because the device that I'm using right now is a little heavier than the one that I'm accustomed to using. So we're gonna try this out and see how this goes. If it's too shaky, then I'll go back to the other devices that I was using to record. But anyway, yeah, she and I were just kind of chit-chatting, and you know, she was telling me, you know, gotta get back in there, and I'm like, oh God, yes, because her channel has grown so much to the point of, here come a few bumps, y'all, sorry. Her channel has grown so much to the point where now she's just waiting to hear back from about her monetization. So I'm so proud of her and everything that she has going on. Then my girl Roxanne Adrian has been doing some serious marketing for her channel. I'm so proud of all my small YouTubers. You know, how everybody's actually putting in the work on their channel and trying to, you know, be a success. I applaud you. So I had to make some decisions about, you know, what I wanted to do and the direction I wanted to go, because I have so many irons in the fire that if I do things the way that I want to do them, then I would have to maintain I would have to maintain 3 channels, and that is just unrealistic. So I guess one of the things that I was kind of wondering is, you know, I was trying to decide like what social media platforms I wanted my business and my nonprofit organization to exist on, because you know, filming is not easy. It's very time consuming. You know, you definitely have to make sure that you're putting out quality content, and you know, etc. So those are just a couple of things that I've been thinking about, you know, exactly how to continue branding myself, and you know, what I'm gonna do. Anyway, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was survival. So right now I'm headed to a business meeting, and there are some things that I'm having to do for myself. I'm actually off. Today is Monday. I had to take off today because Friday I went in and I had to have a triple tooth extraction, and that is no fun. And the reason I had to have 3 of my teeth removed is because, as you all know, I'm a bariatric patient, and prior to my surgery, I was 257 pounds, and with all of that, I was on 15 different medications. And anybody who knows about being on a lot of medication knows that eventually the medication starts to kind of take its toll on your body. Well, the medication, one of the areas in my body the medication impacted was my teeth. So it was very frustrating for me, because it started to compromise my enamel and, just different things like that. And so, they started to break. And I mean, like, literally, I could be eating something, it wasn't really that hard. And my tooth, I've had teeth that actually break, like, completely in half. And so they, had to go in and take them out and things like that. So that's kind of, where I am. And it's not a good place to be in. It's very embarrassing. I've had some challenges, with my teeth. So I'm off. I took off Friday because that's when I actually had the procedure done. But I took off today because I had no earthly idea how I was going to feel after having 3 teeth removed, because I've never had that done. So anyway, I'm all good. I'm obviously I'm not 100% healed up, but I'm not in any pain or anything. The sockets are healing up really well, and I'm excited about getting past this hump. So like I said, I'm headed to a business meeting, and one of the things I want to talk about was survival. I put it on Facebook, like, what is one of your guilty pleasures? And so for me, it's the show Naked and Afraid. And one of the reasons I love that show, I can care less about the fact they don't have any clothes on, is because that show really speaks to what it means to survive, because you are literally out there without any clothes on, and you have to figure out how you're going to make it. And I think, like, the shortest challenge is like 21 days. They have a 40-day challenge. I don't know if they have any other challenges between the 21 and 40, but I don't think they have any that are less than 21 days. Anyway, I love it because you get to see how the survivalists are graded. You get to see, how they are, using the natural resources to not just be able to eat and drink and, but like if they're actually making clothes and, their natural reaction to doing, providing in different areas. And so I also started thinking, a lot of people laugh at me because, my family joke about the zombie apocalypse, but that's television. But at the same time, the mindset that you have to be in order to survive is like you would in the zombie apocalypse or out there in Naked and Afraid. And so, I started to ask myself, being the way that I am now, if something were to happen, would I be able to survive? Maybe not in as harsh of an environment as, if the zombie apocalypse came, or, if I was out there in the natural elements without any clothing, things like, maybe not that extreme, but definitely from the perspective of, if I didn't know where my next meal was going to come from, things like that. And I'm on a plant-based diet. So, a lot of these people are killing animals and, using their hide and whatever for clothing and all that, shoes and whatever. And I'm just like, could I allow myself to transition into the mindset that I have to just kind of do whatever I need to do to survive? That includes, eating meat. And so every time I watch this and I'm not naturally a person that has a queasy stomach, but every time I watch the show, the first thing that my mind goes to is, they chopping off animals' heads and, it's just all kinds of stuff going on. But they're doing what they need to do to survive. I do remember seeing an episode where there was a lady on there that she was a vegetarian, and she would not, like, for the first, I want to say, week and a half or so, she would not eat whatever her partner was killing because she's a vegetarian. And so I was like, I can totally relate to that. But eventually, I don't know if he found a squirrel. It was something that he found, and it was an animal. And that's what it was. It was a snake. He killed a snake, and she actually, when I say was going in on that snake, she didn't care about no plant-based diet. It wasn't hilarious, but it was like, okay, see, yeah, that's me, because I'm one of those kind of people. I'm not a hunter, but if somebody else kill it and clean it, I'll cook it. We'll figure out how to make it work. As long as I don't have to kill it and clean it, I may be able to stomach it. But yeah, sister was out there trying to stick to her guns with her plant-based diet, and the environment was just like, no, she's gonna have to do whatever she needed to do to survive. And so with all of that being said, I just started thinking about, the way that our economy is going. I started thinking about, everything that's going on with our current president, what's happening with our government, the resources that we have available to us, and so we often have the mindset that some kind of way is always going to be there, whether it's, I'll go ahead and take care of this, and then, I'll be good to next payday. And we're living from payday to payday because we don't have the resources stockpiled for us not to have to worry about, if we run out of groceries, tomorrow, what's going to happen to my family. And so my thought, the way that I've been thinking lately has been, regardless of how much money I have, regardless of how much groceries I have in my house, regardless of, what I have today, I have to start preparing myself for a time where those things may not exist to me in the volume that they do now. And if they don't, will I be okay? And so what I've started doing is this is kind of giving you like a peek into the projects and stuff that I've been working on, because we live in the now. And one of the things that I really started looking at was, I have friends who, back in the day you would call them militant and things like that, but they are what they call, what I think are preservationists. So basically what that means is that they are about preserving the quality of those things that they need in order for them to survive. And that means, looking out for their family, making sure that, that they are able to grow some of the things that they need, only buying from the people that are in their circle, which, makes their resources a little limited, but at the same time, you're supporting one another. And so I'm not to that degree, but where I am is, I started watching Coupons to Provide. That's a channel y'all definitely want to check out. I love this chick. She's a Houstonian, and she shops at some of the dollar stores, King Dollar, and some of the other dollar stores and everything. And she shows you how to stretch your money. But one of the things that she also does is she gives you a little insight into how she thinks as far as taking care of her family, and she does stockpiling. And so I took some of what she does and I started applying it to my family, and I started doing a little stockpiling and things too. And what helped me with being able to stretch our dollar was the stockpiling, because you don't have to worry about purchasing the same things, at the grocery store or wherever you got to go to get these items. You have enough of these items that will last you a few shopping trips if you go every week, whatever, and you're not running to the store for these things every time you turn around. The other part of that is, sometimes there are things that you need but you don't have the money. But if you stockpile, even if you don't have the money to purchase the items that you need, you have extra items at the house. And so I had, I started out where I have just like one pantry or one linen closet where, I have deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrush, mouthwash, body wash, toilet paper, paper towels, you name it, and then in the kitchen, obviously, you have your dry goods and canned goods and things like that. And one of the way that you also stretch your dollar is, while you're stockpiling these items, you're actually, you're also meal planning so that you're using your resources wisely. You're not just cooking a bunch of stuff. That's one of the areas that I told y'all I was having trouble, because I was so accustomed to cooking in large volumes that even when it was just me and my husband, like it is now, I was, we were throwing away a lot of food or giving away a lot of food, and it was just, that was a really, really poor use of our resources, even though technically we could afford it because we had the money, but at the same time, you really can't afford to throw. That's just wasteful. And so that's not part of my dynamic. So it was bothering me quite a bit. And so what I adapted was shopping for our perishable goods, like maybe every 2 to 3 days, because that way I would only buy small amounts, and I would only buy those things that I knew we were going to use. And if we had stuff left over, one, it kept me from having to cook so much, but two, if we had things left over and the kids came by and I knew that we were not going to be able to eat these meals that I had prepared before the next time I was to prepare the meal, prepare meals, excuse me, then I would just give it to the kids. And I knew that it wasn't going to waste. I wasn't being wasteful. I was really, I was being smart about what I was doing. I wasn't trying to keep that stuff at the house where I eventually had to throw it away. Anyway, back to survival. This is all kind of ties in together. And so, stockpiling was one of them. But then I started looking a little deeper at my situation, and I started thinking about, when the time comes for you to retire, we don't know what state our country is going to be in at that time. We don't know what's going to happen with the benefits that we're supposed to be able to take advantage of by the time we're old enough to retire. And then I was watching television as I was watching news when I get up to get ready for work. I was watching television, and they posted some statistics on the screen, and I was just sitting there with my mouth open. I had always heard that Social Security was, it was slowly disappearing. And for those of you all who don't know, I'm not a statistician, but I did have to, I had courses in statistics, part of my degree plan, and I was a double major. So I did psychological statistics and I did sociological statistics. And with me studying not just psychology but also sociology, you learn a lot about the way you learn the way that people function, not just individually but collectively. And so anyway, with all that being said, they posted these statistics on the screen, and it said that by the year 2034, Social Security would be depleted. And I started to say, for those of you all who don't know, one of the reasons that we're struggling in that area is because we have our older adults, seniors, who are living longer, but they're not working. So you have more people, and then you have younger people who are working, but they're not working enough, or they're not making enough money, or they're not working enough, or they're not making enough. And the reason that this is important is because while you have the younger generation and then our generation, we are contributing to the pot. You have the older generation that are living longer, which means that they're drawing on our resources more longer, so you have more going out than what you have coming in. So by the time, what the news was saying is, and it made perfect sense, by the time 2034 roll around, Social Security will be no more. That's what they anticipate, because the way that our society is currently functioning, we don't have enough people working, and we don't have enough people who are working that is either contributing to the pot or making enough to contribute to the pot to keep Social Security saturated with funds, so that by the time, because right now the baby boomers are the ones that are drawn on Social Security, so by the time our generation, I think we're Z, I can't remember, but by the time our generation is actually old enough to draw on Social Security, there won't be any Social Security because the resources are not, the resources and the utilization of those resources are not balancing out. And so all of that has my brain functioning. Oh, and the other thing they said, I can't remember the year, but the other thing that they said was sometime before Social Security is depleted, they talked about how Medicaid, Medicare would have been done away with as well. So you got Medicaid, Medicare going bye-bye, and then you have Social Security basically drying up. And so what does that do for you as a person who is physically able to work and contribute your portion to Social Security? What do? Well, one of the things that you have to do is you have to start thinking of ways to generate, ways to smartly use the resources that you currently have. That means your money and how you utilize the funds that you are generating for you and your family. You have to you have to prepare yourself for the possibility of those funds not being available. But then you also have to create multiple streams of income so that say for example, like you're working, that stream of income is not strained. And so these are the kinds of things that I've been working on lately, because my objective for my family is to have created 5 streams of income, including Social Security, with the hope that it would still be around, to prepare for my retirement. So if I have 5 streams of income, my husband has those same 5 streams of income, then it's doubled and we are equally supporting one another. So I just wanted to kind of, touch on those with you all, to kind of talk to you about, not give you a whole lot of information, but to kind of give you some background information on, what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and things like that. And to ask you, what are you doing to create multiple streams of income for your family so that your family is okay in the future? Are you preparing for because zombie is something that's dead that came back to life. You want to revive your financial security. What are you doing to secure your family's finances and resources in the event of any type of apocalypse? Whether it's a financial apocalypse, something like this that may happen in society, what are you doing to make sure that, you all are okay? So that's my question for you. Think about what it is that you want to do. Think about what you have done. Think about, what is going to actually be the best thing for you to do. And then try to come up with a plan to implement. Try to come up with a plan for you. So you're going to develop? No. Try to come up with a plan that you can execute and secure your family's financial stability. And so that's all I wanted to do, was just kind of talk to you about that and let you know where I was and what I had going on. But I definitely want to let y'all know that I miss talking to you. I miss interacting with you, and the videos will continue to come, and just those of you who've been hanging on, I appreciate your patience. I appreciate just everything that you have done to stick around and try to support my channel. It is definitely not in vain. Your girl is coming back with some quality content. We're going to be talking about this sort of thing, financial stability. We're going to be talking about just things that will nurture us as the total person, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally. We're going to be tapping into all of that, and all with the entire purpose of the full purpose of helping us to be better individuals. If you have have any content or any topics that you would like me to cover, I'd appreciate you leaving me a comment down below and letting me know not only what it is that you would like to have more information about, but also what did you think about this video? Did it intrigue you? Did it pique your interest? Did it cause you to think a little bit deeper about how your family is functioning in today's society, and if you're ready for tomorrow's society. So I just want you to think about those things and let me know, what it is that you want me to talk about. Give me a little feedback on this video, and I do appreciate you hanging in there with us. We will be back. I want to let you know the green team, T Green, love you, and I appreciate your time. Until next time, you take care. Love yourself, love somebody else. Bye-bye now.